Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're continuing our study entitled Three Marys, and we're talking about the third Mary from the ministry of Jesus, through whom we get to know Jesus a lot better. And we're talking about Mary Magdalene, Mary from the city of Magdala, who is a woman of some means. Jesus has cast 7 demons out of her, and she is part of his wandering band of disciples and has been from early on and will be to the very end. And as we mentioned last time, she she is the primary witness of every event connected with Jesus' sacrifice. She's there at the crucifixion. She's there at the burial for the burial. She's there at the resurrection. She's the first to see the risen Lord. She's the first to be given the message by Jesus, go and tell. I mean, it's her. Um, After we have the passage from Luke 8, we don't hear anything more about Mary Magdalene until we get to the cross event. And then we have a lot because she's everywhere and she's at everything, as we just mentioned. But the fact that she had traveled with Jesus all this time says something about Jesus and the way he completely disregarded the taboos of his culture to include everyone in his work and in his ministry. He didn't choose a woman to be an apostle. There were roles, and there were 12 men who were chosen to be apostles, but that had nothing to do with Jesus, limiting women's access to him or to his ministry or to his work or his teaching, which is the different roles that they played. And so we should learn that lesson from Jesus right there. Your role is not your value, and certain people have certain roles to play. And Jesus, who broke every rule about the the connection between conversation between men and women, and where women could be to learn and to participate, he broke every rule, so he was not constrained by society. And he didn't choose a woman to be an apostle, even though the women clearly seem to understand who he is and what he's about, and the men do. So let's learn that there are roles. We have roles to play. Each of us have roles to play. And apostle was not a role. Jesus chose a woman to play. Um, so anyway, let's turn to Matthew 27. All the gospel writers agree that the primary witness is Mary Magdalene, and Matthew, Mark, and Luke all tell us when they name the people who were there for the crucifixion and who were there for the burial. They meant the lists are a little different, and some people are mentioned in one list, and but all lists that let us know there are others. So so they all choose different people to name. Some of them overlap, but only one person's name appears in all of them, and it's Mary Magdalene, and she's mentioned first. It says in Matthew chapter 27, verse 55, many women were there looking from a distance, those who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him, among whom was Mary Magdalene. So we're not getting the exhaustive list, it's a group. But among them was, first, Mary Magdalene, along with Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee, James and John. Um, and then so we have that. She's there, seeing Jesus crucified. And then when Pilate takes the body of Jesus and Nicodemus purchases the spices for the burial of Jesus, and they do this quick job of getting him in the tomb before sunset because it's Passover Sabbath. The women who are there with the two men um, are Mary Magdalene and the other Mary who are sitting opposite the grave. It seems that even after Pilate, I mean, not Pilate, Joseph of Arimathea, excuse me, they get the body from Pilate. Even after Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus have gone, these other two women can't bring themselves to leave the spot, and they're there. And that's where we leave them. And then uh, on the next day, um, or excuse me, on the first day of the week, after the Sabbath is over with, we see Mary Magdalene coming again. Um, I just want to say this about her and what we learn about Jesus through her. She's there. Where are the apostles? They're not there. John was there. John was there, and Jesus sent his mother home with John. But otherwise, where are the rest of them? They're not there. But the women are there. The women are more at risk for violence. They're more at risk in every possible way. But they're there because they have taken care the whole time, and they're not going to stop now that he's dead. And we're going to see in the next few sessions when we talk about Mary Magdalene, coming to the tomb, that she doesn't understand what has happened. She's not expecting him to raise from the dead any more than the male apostles were, the male the male disciples were. But her responsibility to the body of Jesus, who is her Lord and whom she loves, is a sacred thing that she's not going to let anyone keep from her. And the fact that Jesus um, maintained those relationships lets us know how completely inclusive his ministry was, and how everyone had a place in his ministry. Everyone had a place at his feet, around him, surrounding him as his disciple, and had their role to play, and knew it, and knew that their role was important, and knew that there was something sacred about it because it was what they had been given to do by him, and to know that it was just as important as everything else. I mean, Jesus made people feel that way because it was true. In your service to him, it was true. Okay, next time we're together, we're going to talk about Mary coming to the tomb. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes.